All right, everyone. Welcome back to the land of Chem. I am your host and the author. My name is Jeffrey Drum. Thank you all so much for joining me again. All right, everyone, welcome back. This is episode 85, and today I will be revealing some newly discovered groundbreaking applications for the aqueous ammonia solution that was once being produced inside the Red Pyramid of Dahshur. If this is the type of content that you're interested in regarding the function of the Egyptian pyramids, please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube. Click that little notification bell, like, comment, and stay tuned. If you want to help support the channel, just check out thelandofchem.com. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @thelandofchem. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that is it for today's intro. So without further ado, let's get right to it. All right, everyone, here we go with tonight's episode. So to begin, let me establish that the primary application for the aqueous ammonia solution being produced inside the Red Pyramid was for agricultural use in the manufacturing of fertilizers. And this is the exact same way we use this chemical today. Ammonia is possibly the most important chemical to our modern civilization that has ever been industrially produced, taking second place only to sulfuric acid. And we would not have the ability to produce crops on the massive scale that we do today without ammonia. For example, this article from Petro Online states that the United States operates more than 2,000 ammonia plants, with the majority of domestic produce used to manufacture agricultural fertilizers. However, you will also see this, that the oil and gas industry is another big consumer of commercially manufactured ammonia, with the gas used to neutralize acidic compounds during the oil refining process. Ammonia can also be added to reactors to detoxify emissions and convert nitrogen oxides into nitrogen and water. Interesting, but first, back to fertilizers. And remember that the civilization that built and used these pyramids was not just farming around the Nile River, but rather across the entire Upper Eastern Sahara, utilizing ammonia-based fertilizers to literally terraform this entire area into arable farmland during a time period called the Saharan Wet Period, which occurred around 8500 BC until around 5300 BC. And the Egyptian civilization was spread across this entire area that was previously an uninhabitable desert that became transformed by plentiful rainfall and the application of fertilizers into bountiful agricultural farmlands. Next up, from energyeducation.com, stating that ammonia has a wide range of uses, but the majority of ammonia produced, approximately 80%, is used in agriculture as fertilizers. And I am proposing that this same ratio, about 80% of the total ammonia product, was being used by this ancient civilization for agricultural fertilizers. So that leaves the question, what were they doing with the other 20%? Well, quote, in the petroleum industry, ammonia is used to neutralize acidic components of crude oil. In mining, ammonia is used to extract copper, nickel, and molybdenum from their ores. In wastewater treatment, ammonia is used to control the pH of water. And this statement didn't make sense to me until just recently when, thanks to a comment on one of my videos, a light bulb went off in my head and I remembered something very interesting about the Red Pyramid and its precise location in Dahshur. All right, now let's take a look at an oil refinery and some of its products. So we have here on the left, the crude oil storage, the steam boiler here where the crude oil is heated, breaking down the oil into its constituent parts that are then separated and collected out of the distillation tower here. And remember that aqueous ammonia is used to remove the corrosive acidic components like naphthenic acid from these products, which would damage the mechanisms and applications in which they are being used. And one product here immediately caught my attention, as there is prolific evidence of its utilization across the ancient world, which is bitumen. All right, everyone, just a quick reminder that if you want to help support the channel, just check out the landofchem.com. I have some fire Land of Chem merch, hoodies, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, both different logos, a ton of different colors. A brand new logo design is currently in the works. Digital copies of the book are still available, but don't forget, a spectacular redesigned second edition print will be released soon. Also, extremely rare signed copies of the limited first edition purple print will also be on the website, and I will make a formal announcement when everything is ready. But for now, if you want to show some love, just check out the landofchem.com, and thank you all so much for the support. All right, now on to some explanation of how this quote-unquote mysterious black goo substance, as it is often referred to, is produced and obtained. First, in its naturally occurring form, and this coming from the Department of Natural Resources. Oil that has seeped to the surface would most likely evaporate and leave behind bitumen, the tarry component of the mixture of hydrocarbons from which it is composed. This has been used for thousands of years as a waterproofing agent for plumbing, boat building, and brick bonding. And they also mention something that I have discussed before, which is quote unquote, natural deposits of asphalt occur in pits or lakes as a residue from crude petroleum that has seeped up through fissures in the earth. In antiquity, bitumen was the Roman name for an asphalt used as a cement and mortar. Also, about 2,000 years ago, the ancient Chinese used oil and natural gas for heat and light. Bamboo pipes carried gas into the homes. End quote. This piece is extremely relevant, and you will see why here in just a moment. And as always, as I do here on the Land of Chem, any claims that I make regarding the presence of any particular substance or material is always documented with research showing its existence in the geographic area that we now know as Egypt. And here we go once again, showing that bitumen used in the mummification process has been sourced from Egypt, specifically in Gebel El Zayt, a massive industrial mining region that I have discussed many times in previous episodes. So yes, this ancient civilization was using petroleum bitumen in the mummification process. As you can see here in this article from the Royal Society Publishing, discussing the quote-unquote significance of petroleum bitumen in ancient Egyptian mummies. So where is one place that you do not want acids present in crude oil corroding away the materials? In your mummified bodies. So what do you use to neutralize and remove those acids before you use the bitumen to embalm the dead? Aqueous ammonia. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is just a dynastic Egyptian application and rather small scale. And you know, here on this channel, we are pushing that timeline back and looking at massive industries that would have utilized these chemicals. So is there an immense ancient industry that also would have used aqueous ammonia from the Red Pyramid to neutralize corrosive acid before the application of this petroleum-based bitumen? And I bring to you this, quote unquote, bitumen, the ultimate waterproofing material, and the ancient shipbuilding industry, an absolutely massive worldwide industry that utilized petroleum bitumen for joining, sealing, and waterproofing boats. And I will read this article here. Bitumen in shipbuilding. The use of bitumen in shipbuilding can be traced back to ancient times. The Phoenicians, for example, are known to have used bitumen to waterproof their ships and protect them from the harsh Mediterranean waters. The Egyptians and Greeks also used bitumen for similar purposes. And they also state that during the Industrial Revolution, the demand for bitumen in shipbuilding increased dramatically. This was due in part to the growth of the petroleum industry, which led to the production of more and more bitumen as a byproduct of oil refining. With the development of new technologies for heating and applying bitumen, it became even easier to use this versatile material in shipbuilding. Well, we know that our modern industrial revolution began with the production of ammonia, And that is exactly what we are investigating today, as the petroleum bitumen industry would have also been a huge consumer of this aqueous ammonia solution. Of course, during my research, I also discovered that the ancient bitumen industry provided us with some of the oldest documented intercontinental trade. And I quote, "The evidence of Uruk expansionist trade. Research into bitumen sources has illuminated the history of the expansionist period of Mesopotamian Uruk, an intercontinental trading system that was established by Mesopotamia during the Uruk period, with the creation of trading colonies in what is today southeastern Turkey, Syria, and Iran. According to seals and other evidence, the trade network involved textiles from southern Mesopotamia and copper, stone, and timber from Anatolia. But the presence of sourced bitumen has enabled scholars to map out that trade. And the area included in this intercontinental trade network within the Middle East absolutely would have included ancient Egypt. And just imagine the scale of this industry with hundreds of thousands of ships, not only in Egypt, but also around the Mediterranean and across the entire world that would have been using petroleum bitumen for shipbuilding. And you can't have acids corroding away at the components of your seafaring vessels. So that crude oil or bitumen would have first been processed with aqueous ammonia to neutralize the acids and prevent damage to these ships. And you may be saying to yourself, yes, of course, this is very interesting, using ammonia to process the naturally occurring bitumen. But is there any evidence of these natural oil deposits or petroleum refining near the Red Pyramid? Well, just take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. And what do we have here? This is a Google Earth image of Dahshur, with the main access road leading into the tourist area for the Red Pyramid and Bent Pyramid here. And what do you see here on the right, directly across the street from the Red Pyramid? Well, it is nothing less than a modern oil refinery. And I can conclusively say that the oil reserve that they are tapping and processing today absolutely would have existed during the time of the pyramid's construction and operations, as these things do not occur overnight. So now we have a direct correlation between petroleum refining and bitumen, massive ancient industries, and the product of the Red Pyramid, aqueous ammonia. And just taking a look at the plant, it looks like they are tapping into oil reserves that are located over here or over here, and then processing them in the distillation towers here to separate the constituent petroleum products. Is your mind completely blown yet? Just wait, because what else do we often find alongside crude oil deposits? Now this, coming from National Geographic, quote, "Natural gas deposits are often found near oil deposits." And what do we do with these natural gas deposits? And here, as stated by the Energy Information Agency, what happens when natural gas is found? Natural gas wells can be drilled vertically and horizontally into natural gas-bearing formations. In conventional natural gas deposits, the gas generally flows easily up through the wells to the surface. Here, by forcing water, chemicals, and sand down a well under high pressure, this breaks up the formation, releases the natural gas from the rock, and allows the natural gas to flow up to wells at the surface. At the top of the well, natural gas is collected in gathering pipelines and sent to natural gas processing plants. Does any of this sound familiar? It definitely should. And what do we have here just to the north of this oil deposit and the manufacturing plant for ammonia here in Dahshur? None other than the Step Pyramid of Saqqara. And as I have alluded to in the previous Sunday site visit to the Step Pyramid complex, I have a major revelation about the function of this structure coming up soon. So please subscribe and stay tuned. All right, everyone, that is it for today's video. This was episode 85, Ancient Ammonia Applications. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. And in the next episode in the series, Sunday Site Visit 12, featuring an exploration of the final synthesis chamber of the Red Pyramid of Dahshur. If this is the type of content you're interested in regarding the function of the Egyptian pyramids, please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube. Click that little notification button, like, comment, and stay tuned. If you want to help support the channel, thelandofchem.com. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my handle is @thelandofchem. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that is it for today's episode. So I will see you next time. Yo, are you still watching this? Please subscribe to the Land of Chem here on YouTube and click that little notification button. New videos coming out every single week. And check out this other episode. Come on, do it. Do it now.